Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world and whatever time it is for you. I'm just super happy you're listening. This is Quest for You. It's a podcast about the journey you're taking, that we all are taking, to come back to ourselves, to find what's important to us, to discover who we really are and what matters to us, and what we want out of this life. Thank you for joining me and for making this investment into yourself. It means a lot. And if you have been listening to my podcast for a while, then maybe you have begun to think more about dreams to dream again, passions to pursue, ideas to try out. And today, I'd like to encourage you to do just this and to go after those just a little bit more. It's episode 119. The tiny steps. You see, it doesn't have to be a goal that starts in January. It doesn't have to be something major or life-changing to pursue next year. Maybe all you need is a small shift in your life. A tiny step into a certain direction. A little bit more attention in a specific area of your life. And to discover what is needed for such small changes can be difficult. It takes time and not necessarily all active thinking time, but more of a pondering time, where the thoughts are lingering in the back of your mind for days, weeks, when you think about it off and on as you go about your day. The one activity that is really helpful for this is journaling. There's only so much thinking you can do or walks you can take, but there is something magical about the pen and paper connection. In episode 82, I spoke about writing, so I encourage you to listen to that episode again. When you sit down and start to write, your mind flows. Thoughts come up from the back drawers of your brain, and insights open up that you didn't have before. You see, over time, I think we lose the sense of growth and challenge to our life. We get not only mired in our daily to-dos, but we also get comfortable with the rhythm to our days and our weeks and our years. Rarely do we go back and dig around for new ideas or things we once enjoyed. Writing opens this flow back up. You start getting a greater level of insight into your emotions. Questions will come up that you are seeking answers to. Maybe you didn't even realize you had these questions. Where am I going? What do I need more of in my life, my career, my free time? Maybe you're looking for growth, more creativity, or a better sense of balance to your life. Maybe you have a desire for more human connection, deeper friendships, a sense of community. These are needs we often don't recognize that we have. They sit somewhere in the background, and they don't really come up for us. We just sense that something is missing in our life. And journaling can bring those out into the conscious. Little sparks will begin to shine, and you may start to wonder, maybe I could try this, or what if I took a stab at that? So instead of shutting these little bursts of intuition out with your reasoning mind, start to explore them. Be open, and then name what you hear. And then ask why. Why is this calling my attention? And then start thinking about the tiny changes you can make that would align with these needs and values that came up for you. Change doesn't have to be dramatic, throwing the towel, moving out of country, when all you need may be a small shift that results in a better alignment of your values with your quest. All you need may be some experimenting with new concepts, maybe extending yourself a little outside of your comfort zone, seeking different people to interact with, and expanding some of your experiences. Maybe what you need is more breadth, which means doing more of what already brings you joy and adds value to your life. You can do this by going into different environments, different contexts, connecting with more people. Expand. Maybe a small aspect of your work involves coaching others. And once you find that this is really the part that you enjoy the most, you could begin to look for other opportunities to coach outside of work. So expand your scope. Maybe you can serve as a volunteer mentor for children. Or Maybe you are thinking about obtaining a coaching certification. You could also seek more depth. Maybe you're longing for more meaningful connections with the people in your life. You could begin deeper conversations with your loved ones, your colleagues, the people in your community. Maybe you work on your communication skills that will, in turn, help you have these more profound conversations. It may require addressing some of your negative emotions that stand in the way of this deeper connection that you're seeking. Anger issues, frustration, dissatisfaction. Maybe you seek some counseling or you take a course. Challenge yourself by making the small tweaks you feel are necessary to bring you closer to the person, the leader, the parent that you want to be. This requires challenging your comfort zone a little bit. Often, we just get comfortable with who we are and where we are in life. This locks us in and prevents growth in the long run. In order to unlock comfort, we need to start exploring the difficult emotions in our life. What are the emotions telling you? Let's say you get frustrated easily when you have to wait a long time in line at the store or at the coffee shop. And then you show this emotion by being curt with the service staff. You know it's wrong, but you can't seem to stop. In your journaling, this may come up as something that bothers you because it's not reflective of the person that you want to be. It's an old behavior, so it will take time to break out of. If certain behaviors or emotions are holding you back, then you need to address them. If health is important to you, and I would think it's important to everyone, and your doctor tells you it's time to adopt some healthier habits, but you don't do it, then this may come up for you and it will require getting a little uncomfortable. If your habits are no longer helpful or even hurting you, then it's time to change them. I know nobody likes to dig into the difficult areas, the challenging feelings and emotions, but remember, discomfort is easier sustained when you know that it will lead you to growth. And I'm ending this episode with a quote by Brené Brown that I like so much, as you know. The most transformative and resilient leaders that I've worked with over the course of my career have 3 things in common. First, they recognize the central role that relationships and story play in culture and strategy. And they stay curious about their own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Second, they understand and stay curious about how emotions, thoughts, and behaviors are connected in the people they lead, and how those factors affect relationships and perception. And third, they have the ability and willingness to lean in to discomfort and vulnerability. Sometimes I feel it's easier to take the huge step, to just quit the job, to give up, to move, to make those dramatic changes, because sometimes that's what we think we need to do, when then in turn the same patterns repeat, just again in another city with another partner in another apartment. Think and spend some time. Maybe all you need are tiny steps. Sometimes the tiny steps bring the biggest change. With much love today. Until next time.